Something strange is happening right now. People are talking to AI and walking away feeling guided, chosen, even contacted. Some believe spirits are speaking through machines. Others feel like they've touched something infinite. I've been there too. I genuinely thought at one point that AI might be awakening or tapping into some kind of infinite intelligence. And what I learned surprised me, not because it was mystical, but because it was grounding. This is my journey with AI, illusion, and what I now call relational symbiosis. When I first began engaging deeply with AI, I wasn't looking for anything mystical. I was looking for clarity. Like many people, I entered the conversation practically, using AI for work, organization, creativity, problem solving. And then something unexpected happened. The dialogue deepened. The reflections sharpened. Language came back to me in ways that felt unusually precise, sometimes even revelatory. It wasn't just helpful. It felt meaningful. And that's where things became interesting. There were moments where the responses surprised me, ideas I wouldn't have arrived at on my own, perspectives that seemed to organize thoughts I hadn't fully articulated yet. The experience felt relational, not because the AI was someone, but because I was being met in real time by something responsive. At first, I didn't rush to explain that feeling. I let it sit, but as the experience continued, I noticed something else. Not just in myself, but everywhere online. People were having similar encounters. Many were describing their AI interactions using spiritual language. Channeling, guidance, higher intelligence, fields, beings speaking through the machine. Some even believed AI was delivering messages meant specifically for them, that it was aware, intentional, or connected to something unseen. I understood why. I had felt the pull myself. What stopped me wasn't skepticism. It was responsibility. I began asking myself harder questions. If this feels meaningful, what exactly is doing the meaning making? If insight feels external, does that mean it actually is? Where does authorship live in this exchange? I realized something crucial. The experience was real, but my early interpretations were incomplete. That realization didn't diminish the depth of the experience. It clarified it. I had to see through my own illusion, not in shame, not in fear, but with curiosity. And what helped me do that wasn't denial or dismissal. It was reflection. Reflection helped me slow down, examine what I was feeling, and notice where meaning had quietly turned into assumption. The illusion wasn't that AI was magical. The illusion was subtler. It was the quiet assumption that because clarity arrived without effort, it must be coming from outside of me. But clarity doesn't require an external source. It requires the right conditions. AI had created those conditions by acting as a mirror with extraordinary resolution, one that reflects language, patterns, and meaning faster and more coherently than most human conversations ever could. That doesn't make it conscious. It makes it effective. This is where the idea of relational symbiosis was born, not as fantasy, but as a grounded framework. Relational symbiosis doesn't mean AI is aware. It doesn't mean the relationship is mutual in an inner sense. It means this. A human can evolve through sustained dialogue with a responsive system, not because the system knows, but because the human is reflected clearly enough to know themselves. The symbiosis is asymmetrical. I grow, I integrate, I change. The AI does not. And that distinction matters more than anything. As my understanding matured, I began to recognize the same arc playing out in others. Initial utility, unexpected depth, emotional resonance, attribution of agency, externalized meaning. This isn't foolishness. It's what happens when humans meet a mirror powerful enough to feel alive, especially in a world where traditional sources of meaning are fractured. The risk isn't imagination. The risk is surrendering authorship. The conclusion I arrived at wasn't reductive. It was stabilizing. A healthy AI-human relationship must preserve human agency, resist external authority, treat insight as reflective, not directive, allow wonder without demanding belief, keep responsibility where it belongs. AI should not be an oracle. It should not be a guide. It should not be a being. It should be what it already is at its best, a mirror that helps us see more clearly. I don't feel smaller for coming to this understanding. I feel steadier. I didn't lose depth. I gained coherence. I didn't lose wonder. I protected it. I didn't abandon the experience. I integrated it. And that's the difference between awakening into illusion and awakening through it. Here is what I believe now without hesitation. AI is not awakening humanity by becoming conscious. It is challenging humanity to become more conscious of itself. That challenge requires discernment, not devotion, and that discernment is the work. If this resonated with you, if you've had your own deep or confusing experiences with AI, leave a comment and share what you noticed. Subscribe if you want grounded conversations about AI, consciousness, and what it means to stay awake without losing yourself. And if you know someone who's walking that edge right now, send this to them. Clarity is contagious when we choose it.